Wars, governments, economy, diseases, discrimination, and more may cause a person to be forced to flee their home and sometimes their country of origin. People have to abandon everything they have for a better chance of survival and better quality of life. But there are risks: smugglers, storms at sea, walking long distances under the burning sun with heavy luggage or nothing at all, without papers or important official documents, diseases, no food, etc., are some of the situations that refugees pass to seek for a better place and life. They are more prone to human trafficking, sexual assault, or exploitation. The great majority of refugees are children, and for them to be more vulnerable and prone for this to happen is heartbreaking. A refugee may be defined as someone who is forced of their country and persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, etc., and not being able to return or being in such fear of not willing to return, someone who is unprotected and desperate. If everyone has similar situations in their country, no one is exempt of becoming a refugee. How can everyone be protected?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We bring your attention to the global refugee crisis. I'm Diego, and joining me is our esteemed reporter, Gerardo. Together, we aim to shed light on this horrible situation that happens every day to many people around the world. Jerry, please enlighten our viewers on the current state of the affairs.
Thank you, Diego. Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the midst of a refugee crisis that spans continents and affects millions of lives. Conflicts, persecution, and economic hardships persist. People are forced to flee their homes in search for a safety and chance of a better future. About more than 82 million individuals worldwide have been forcibly displaced, and this number continues to rise. It is not just numbers. It represents the stories of countless human beings longing for peace, stability, and opportunity. Families torn apart, children traumatized, and dreams shattered. Each individual carries with them hopes for a life free from fear, where they can rebuild, contribute, and flourish.
Indeed, Jerry, we must remember that these individuals are human beings deserving of empathy, support, and understanding. It is essential to shift our perspective and recognize that they are not strangers seeking to invade, but rather individuals in desperate need of our help. Human rights must be at the forefront of our response to the refugee crisis, as every individual, regardless of their nationality or legal status, deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and compassion. It is crucial to uphold the principle of non-refoulement, which prohibits the return of refugees to situations where their lives or freedom are at risk. By honoring this principle, we protect the fundamental human right to seek asylum and provide a lifeline to those fleeing persecution and violence. Promoting and safeguarding human rights within the refugee crisis requires addressing the underlying cause of displacement, fostering inclusive societies, and ensuring access to essential services such as healthcare, education, and legal assistance for all refugees, enabling them to rebuild their lives and contribute to their new communities.
Absolutely, Diego. Refugees are not a burden, but rather an opportunity for growth. However, there will always be refugees in the main problem are not solved. As mentioned before, wars, discrimination, intolerance, religion discrepancies. What happens when people become refugees not because of persecution, political ideas, or religion, but from an environmental reason, because of global warming? Everyone is affected by this, and it can lead to political problems too. According to The Guardian, already 2 of 9 Tuvalu's 9 islands are on the verge of going under, the government says, solved by the sea rise and coastal erosion. People that will become refugees because of their homes have disappeared and have nowhere else to go, to live, will people let them die or let them in refugee camps because of the world's fault of and bureaucracy?
The time for action is now. We must urge our leaders and policymakers to prioritize the protection and welfare of refugees. Adequate resources and support systems need to be established to ensure their safety, access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. Moreover, international cooperation is vital to address the roots the root causes of displacement and work towards sustainable solutions.
Refugee problems are everyone's problems. According to the World Health Organization, refugees and migrants often face worse health outcomes in countries of transit and destination due to the barriers including language and cultural differences, institutional discrimination, and restricted use of health services. Migration laws and protocols also affect people that travel and deny opportunities and better quality of life to people in desperate need.
The refugee global crisis demands our attention, empathy, and action. Let us remember that our humanity is measured by how we treat the most vulnerable among us. By opening our hearts and extending a helping hand, we can be a beacon of hope for those who have been forcibly displaced. Thank you, Jerry, for bringing this crucial issue to the forefront. And thank you, our viewers, for joining us on this journey towards a more compassionate and inclusive world. Remember, it is through our collective efforts that we can truly make a difference. Before we conclude, let's take a moment to highlight the stories of resilience and strength that embody the lives of refugees. These are just a few examples amongst many.
First, let's meet Amina, a Syrian refugee who fled her war-torn homeland with her family. Despite the unimaginable challenges they faced, Amina's determination led her to become an advocate for education. She founded a school in her refugee camp, providing essential learning opportunities for children who had lost everything. Next, we have Ahmed, a young man from Somalia. After surviving a treacherous journey across the sea, Ahmed sought asylum in a new country. Instead of succumbing to despair, he harnessed his skills as a talented artist and used his paintings to raise awareness about the plight of refugees. Through his art, Ahmed has sparked dialogue and fostered understanding within his community.
Finally, we have Maria, a courageous woman from Venezuela who sought refuge in a neighboring country due to political unrest. Despite the challenges of adapting to a new culture and language, Maria has become a pillar of support for fellow refugees. Through her unwavering determination, she established a community center that provides vital resources and a sense of belonging to those in need.
These are just a few examples of the countless individuals who have fled their homes and faced adversity with resilience and courage. Their stories serve as a reminder of strength and resilience that resides within each refugee. As we wrap up, let us remember that these stories represent real people with dreams, aspirations, and a desire for peace. By amplifying their voices and acknowledging their contributions, we can challenge stereotypes and pave the way for a more inclusive, compassionate world.
Thank you for joining us as we shed light on the refugee global crisis. Through understanding, empathy, and action, we can make a profound difference in the lives of those who have been forced to flee. Together, let's build a future where every person, regardless of their background, can find safety, dignity, and hope. Thank you, and good evening.
Religion.